Hi, I'm Dave and I'm the Managing Director of NTT Fundraising. Now, last week we published a video laying out our 5 top tips for anybody thinking of getting involved in data-driven marketing campaigns for perhaps the first time. Now, I had an awful lot of feedback and a lot of it was asking for me to sort of flesh out some of our ideas and really lay out why we felt they deserved a slot in the top 5. So, tip number 1 was know what you are buying and know what you are going to do with it. Like everything in life, data-driven marketing campaigns require a plan. And all those plans should start with the objective, a clearly laid out objective for the campaign. And that objective then helps you to define and draw up the supporter journey that you are planning to take people through from that first interaction through to them being a fully committed supporter of your cause. And within the supporter journey, you need to lay out and define the various touch points that you are going to have with those individuals. Now, at each of those touch points, you have to think through the balance of capturing information versus putting off the supporter. So in that initial interaction, that first touch point, do you want to overload an individual by asking them lots and lots of questions about their data? Or do you actually want to just start that interesting engagement going? I mean, I'd recommend the latter, but when you are sitting down planning, these things you can actually work through and understand. And make sure that that balance between keeping a supporter's experience as high quality as possible versus making sure you've captured enough from them to transition them along the campaign that you have planned out. Now, once you've gone through this exercise, the final thing that you need to do is to lay out the success criteria. So from understanding the touch points, from understanding the captures that you're going to do at each of those touch points, and from understanding the overall campaign's objectives, you'll be able to create some fairly detailed success criteria that you can then use to measure the success of the campaign. Now, one of the great benefits of data-driven marketing is how effective and real-time the feedback can be. So if you have a clear laid out success criteria, you can very quickly see whether a campaign is succeeding or otherwise, and you can take remedial action very, very quickly. When you are engaging third parties, another great benefit for having a plan and a clear objective is that you can express what you need them to do for you in a very tangible way, a way that allows you to measure their success and manage them to ensure that they deliver what you are asking them to do to make your overall campaign successful. Now, I hope that lays out and gives you some understanding as why we felt that made it into our top 5. But the reason it is tip number 1 is because it is the foundation for any campaign that you do. An effective plan, an effective supporter journey, and more importantly, probably than the others, that effective success criteria. Once you have that foundation, you can go on and do other things. But without that foundation, delivering on tip number 2, tip number 3, tip number 4, and tip number 5 are all virtually impossible.